Is that the one? Bam, we're live. I guess that's the one. I saw the show was scheduled for 8 a.m. this morning. I guess when the show is scheduled, we had an error. Because it's not 8 a.m. It's 7 a.m. and then I'm 5 or 10 minutes late. Everyone knows that. And then I forgot to make my Paper Street coffee. So I had to go back and make that.
Early morning, long days, late nights. Grounded in work, brewed in the dark. Every road leads to home. Start yours on Paper Street.
I like it when there's a commercial that I like, because then I just play it just to play it. Like I just like hey, yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I don't know. 8 a.m. What the hell? I don't know. WTH. I don't know if I've ever seen WTH. I thought it was WTF. No free ads. They're all free. God, if you only knew. Mr. Reeves, good morning. Who gives a shit about sports ball fixing other than gambling freaks on the Bet365 bet, whatever the fuck? How about the $600 million rug pool of Trump coin? Who cares about the 600? Dude, who cares about money when you're alive? Who cares about a $600 million rug pool of Trump coin? When finally, when finally, the FDA is admitting that low-fat diets are bad. Just think about that? Think about all the fucking people who had their life shortened and died because of the food pyramid. Hey, it's like everyone. I bet you it's like 99% of the people. For sure, my life. My family strictly adhered to the low-fat diet. I remember being young and all of a sudden there was a whole aisle of just low-fat shit in the grocery store. It wasn't there, and then it was there when I was a little kid. Remember that shit? Margarine. Do you remember margarine? Fucking wild. And finally the FDA is like, yo, we've known for 16 years and we hid it from you. Thank God for Trump. FIFA being fixed, gasp, never would I believe. Is there a FIFA fix story? Like, what's fixed? I mean, I know that Trump called and told the guy, hey, you got to let our dude in. I can't believe it's not butter. Dude, you're way too young to know that. But what if I'm fat? What if you're not? How about the Graham Plattner? You want to talk about Plattner? The Plattner thing is something I haven't talked about, but it is fucking wild. It is wild. Do you think he raped that girl? You guys just want to go through and just do a whole show on Plattner? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's kind of start at the end. We'll kind of start at the end. This guy's running for is he running for Senate in Maine? Is that what it is? Help a brother out, CrossFat. Help a brother out. I need a wingman for this show. This is crazy. Let's start at the end and then we'll backfill. Don't worry if you don't get some of this. I'll backfill all this in for you. This guy's running for yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. It wasn't fixed, influence maybe, but politics always influences sports, especially soccer. Yeah, well, at least you're being honest. Yeah, we could talk about Newport Beach. That's really sad. That pavilions is the pavilions where they got looted was like I went there every single day. It was like 100 feet from Sarah's place. It's crazy. Filthy rich neighborhood. So sad. I was there for 10 days or 2 weeks. I didn't see a single homeless person, no riffraff, no trannies. I saw a couple whores, a couple prostitutes, going in and out of the bar, but that's it. Just good fucking people everywhere. Not that homeless people or trannies can't be good people, just not ideal for the when you're out with your kids. Yesterday or the day before after the beach, I pulled up in front of a Nob Hill grocery store and my wife jumped out. I told her 10 times that I would run in and get it. She said, no, I want to do it. So I let her. I conceded. And what she went into the grocery store, and next to it, it was crazy. My kids and I sat in the car, and it was a fucking freak show. A freak show. Someone walks by with 10 piercings. Then a car pulls up and parks in the spot next to us, and it's an 80-year-old woman putting on her red lipstick with her dyed blue hair, like getting ready. And she gets out, and I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you putting on lipstick when you already fucked yourself up with all that? And she's putting on rouge and shit, and she's 80. It's like, hey, dude, no one's looking at you except the fact that you're fucked up because you dyed your hair blue and you're 80. Your 10 strands of hair you have left. Then a tranny walked by. It was a pimply zitted man with tits, probably 19 years old, with long hair, piercings, sipping a Frappuccino. Albie from the back seat said, how come all the trans people were fat? I said, hey, that's not fair. Just most people are fat. That's not fair. That has nothing to do with trans. Don't stick that on them. Fucking nuts. Oh, why did it say 11? Now I'm late. I don't know. You didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything. You just met the only thing that anyone's missed so far is now you guys all know CrossFat is the producer of this show. The Savant Podcast, produced by CrossFat. Why do I say that? Because we're going to talk about Graham Plattner. I wasn't even sure. We haven't talked about Plattner on this show, have we? I mean, literally, the Santa Cruz is like the bar. If you got to get about 500 yards from the beach. At the beach, it's like normal. You know what I mean? It's just normal. Good-looking people, all ethnicities and races. Even the fat people are good-looking at the beach. Even the anorexic people are good-looking at the beach. Even the Armenians are good-looking at the beach. Everyone's just good-looking at the beach. But you get 500 yards away from the beach, that demarcation line, and it fucking goes downhill, and you are at the bar in Star Wars. What a fucked up looking group of people. And I'm not talking about stuff you can't, that's not your fault. Like, like the fungus on my toe. Oh, my toe's getting better. I'm not talking about short people or big nose people. I'm not talking about fat people or skinny people. I'm not talking about burn victims. I'm talking about just people who go out of their way to make themselves ugly. It is crazy. Like they wake up in the morning. What is it? What is that line? You wake up in the morning and you what's that funny line? And you breathe violence or you declare violence. You choose violence. These people wake up in the morning and choose ugly. I'm going to choose ugly. Who do you guys think the smartest person is in the chat? I don't know. We would have to define. Let's not define smart. Let's just throw it out there. Who's the smartest person in the chat? What do you think? Pool boy. Okay, fair enough. just going. All right, the smartest. Oh yeah, Jeff definitely is a contender. Jeff's a contender. Jeff knows he's a contender too. This Jeff. Don't take offense to this. Jeff is trying to feign a little humility, but he's like, I am. Clearly, I am, and it's okay to say that because it's not outrageous. Like to choose you as the smartest person in the chat. It's not a bad choice. You might have a good blend of compassion. You might, even if you're not the smartest, you might have the best blend of intelligence, compassion, and logic. Pat Lang. Solid. What's it called? Nomination. Solid nomination. I saw this hippie posted on Twitter. It's like, is your cortisol level high? Do you have trouble remembering things? These are 8 steps you need to do. And it was all things I do already. And I'm like, that doesn't fucking help. It's like, get sun, walk around barefoot, stay outside, take a lot of deep breaths. I'm like, I do all that shit. Your brain's mush. It's a gushy Play-Doh. Well, thank you. There you go. You're welcome. And you're strong and fit. So there you go. And you did your job as a young man by having unprotected sex and had kids. I mean, you've done it all, Jeff. You've done it all. You've done it all. Okay. Graham Plattner. So did I didn't see, did CrossFat tell me someone, you guys tell me stuff about him so I can like act like I know I'm talking about this. I think he's running for Senate in Maine. It's been pretty wild. The layout is this. All sorts of weird shit started coming out about him when he started running for Senate. The most famous was he had some sort of tattoo on his chest that he got when he was young, and it was I want to say it was a tattoo that Nazi guards had. And he claimed that he didn't know that, and he got it when he was young and in the military, and but it was some sort, I want to say it was some sort of tattoo that was affiliated with Nazis. The right just keeps calling it a Nazi tattoo, but I don't think it was a swastika. And so when that came out, the you would think that that would be bad, but the Dems vociferously, passionately defended him. They're like, no. Thank you. Yeah, this is the kind of love I need. True, all true so far. Okay, good. And so they were like defending him, and it was a trip because some of the people who were defending him, you know what I mean? It was like Elizabeth Warren is defending him. That California senator, the Indian looking dude, Ro Khan, is that his name? He was defending him. They were like defending him. It's like, God, how about just pick a dude who doesn't have that tattoo? But shit got even crazier. Listen, Scott Jennings from CNN. Let's listen to him. If you don't know who Scott Jennings is, you have to follow Scott Jennings. He's a beast.
The only thing I disagree with is when she said that he hadn't been vetted. No, he had been vetted. All of the things.
So yesterday, a lady came out and said, hey, this dude came in my house drunk and fucked me and ejaculated in me and against my will, which is the means you were R-worded. God, that is a tough word. Yeah, he R-worded her. He came to her house drunk and held her down and put his penis inside of her against her will, and then put the white goo in her, and she's come out and said that he R-worded her. And so now the Dems, I think that was like too far for the Dems. And so now they're like, oh, we didn't vet him properly. He also allegedly masturbated in a porta potty. That is disgusting. Yeah, this is yeah, totally fair. If you report rape years later, especially when someone's running for office, it makes it hard to believe. Yeah, I don't know why, but I agree with you. It should be like, yeah, I understand why. It could go both ways, right? It could be like, hey, I'm reporting it because this dude shouldn't be in office. 2021, I think he R-worded her. He forced his penis inside of her. Okay, here we go. So they're saying he wasn't vetted properly, which is just a lie. I mean, like, the stuff's been trickling out. We'll get to all of it. There's so much
that have been stated. It was all out in the public. And people like Ro Khanna, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Tim Walz, the Bulwark, Pod Save America, all these people came together to overlook it all, to explain it all, to rationalize it all. He was vetted. People.
I think just last week, I'll play the clip. Elizabeth Warren was out campaigning for him, and he's standing on the stage. And I think the exact quote is, Plattner's my kind of man. These are the people that remember. They're the ones who said that you should believe anything a woman says.
Knew all these things. And a whole bunch of Democrats in Maine showed up and voted for him anyway. And a bunch of donors from around the country sent him money anyway. I agree with Alyssa's question. What changed? Why are you bailing on Graham Plattner now? You already signed off on Nazi tattoo, a self-described communist, somebody who's had rape fantasies, somebody who has been on a social media platform known as
he said he's had rape fantasies. I'm assuming, I don't know this, but he was the one doing the raping, not him getting raped. There's probably like, I wonder if there's a distinction there. Probably more, Jeff, you're the smartest guy in the room. Is it more benign to have a fantasy of you getting raped? Yeah.
Playground for predators, and on and on and on and on and on. And the difference between this accuser and the previous one is simply this.
Wait a
She's
second.
alluding
Wait
on
a
and on and on
second.
and on.
See that lady that's standing behind him with the cup? Remember her face. Oh, does that look like Brian Friend behind her with the headphones? What's Brian Friend doing there? Anyway, remember that lady's face right there. I saw an interview with the rape accuser, and it looks just like her.
And the difference.
This is also weird. Hey, Fraser, this is also weird. This is also weird. Look at this. This is also weird. I hope this doesn't get me in trouble. I really don't want to get in a fight this morning. But woman who dated Graham Plattner says he raped her. How do you rape someone you're dating? Can someone explain that to me? How the fuck do you rape someone you're dating? Maybe that's just a yeah, maybe he dreams of being raped. That would that's a little more benign. It's possible. Oh, it's possible. How is that possible? I can't. I don't understand how that happens. I can't. I guess I've never had anyone tell me that they don't want to have sex who I'm dating. Okay. There's a good date rape drug and a hard hole too. Yeah, okay. Why would you give some chick you're dating? By dating, I'm assuming you've already had sex once. You say no? But have you already had sex with them? Like, why do you say no? Then you're not dating. I thought that was the reason why you date. Am I confused? I thought you date because you want to have someone you can have a loving relationship with. But if you shoved it in their pooper, I mean that's your next level fucked up to try and have sex with someone who doesn't want to have sex with you. Your next level fucked up if you're dating someone who doesn't want to have sex with you too. I want to fuck you, but not right now. I just never been in that situation. Seb on baiting people again. I'm just asking the questions. Just trying to be what is it? Non-partisan. Tank. Sevon. Tank. Check. Hi. Sevon, don't do this. Listen, have you for any men out there, have you ever been let's just do it real quick, and then I'll leave it alone. No, yeah, if you've never had sex before. But if you're dating someone, this is what you're dating someone, you've had sex 100 times. Have they ever said no to you? First of all, also, if someone says no, they don't want to have sex with you, you should run for the hills. You should be devastated and become deeply insecure. If your girlfriend or your wife doesn't want to have sex with you, the first time they tell you, like, hey, I don't want to have sex, you should just run for the hills. I don't know. I will also say this caveat. I don't know what it's like to be a girl and have something pushed inside you. Maybe it's like, just guys don't do that. So it's hard to understand it. Like no matter what, if you don't want to have sex, if that thing gets, slapped around a little bit and gets rigid, someone could jump on it. You don't care. You're like, whatever. Mr. Reeves, yeah, that's called she's either fucking someone else or she's in the friend zone. Oh. No. Haley has never given you the Heisman? Not once? No. She said, be careful, my back fucking really hurts. Be careful. You know what I mean? Like if she's injured or something. He sounds like he has a rape fetish. Okay. So this woman's come out and accused him of rape. Nazi tattoo, a whole bunch of shit. We'll get into it.
Between this accuser and the previous one is simply this.
Oh, there was another accuser? Mike. Okay, well, that's not good.
She's a liberal. It's okay, I guess, for Democrats that their candidates assault conservatives. But he broke into someone's house, and apparently, according to her,
How do you break into someone's house you're dating? These are things I don't understand. These are things I don't understand.
her raped her, and because her politics are correct, they can now believe it. All of this whole thing is disgusting. But to say that they hadn't vetted him or that they didn't know about all this is totally false. They knew it and they signed up for it, and I don't know why.
Who cares if they did or didn't? They defended it along the way.
They're backing away from this scumbag today when they had already signed off on all that other crap.
He called him a scumbag. I think this guy already won the primary. CrossFat, hook a brother up. Hook a brother up. They already here we go. This
Which
is
is
CNBC host calls out Elizabeth Warren. Here we go. Watch this. This is like a week ago, Elizabeth Warren. Like, here's the other thing too. You can just get around someone like this guy right here. This is a little abstract, but don't you think like your spidey senses should go off? Like, I don't know if you guys have seen this guy talk or see how he behaves or see how he looks. Like Taylor says he doesn't pass the eye test. I mean, you're just, and I think he's a, what's that called when your parents have shitload of money and they put it in a bank account for you and you live off of it and they fund all your businesses and all that. What's that called? Trust fund. I think he's like a trust fund baby. So like really spoiled. Here we go. This is Elizabeth Warren. This is the chick who said she was Native American because she was 1% Native American. Here we go.
Campaigned with Graham Plattner, who is ahead of that state's very pivotal Democratic primary. And I wanted to ask you about something you said. You said he's your kind of man. And I've interviewed you for a long time and watched your hearings and listened to your questions. You care about character. This is a guy that had a chest tattoo with a Nazi symbol. Okay, he apologized for it.
Chest tattoo with a Nazi symbol, and he apologized for it.
It's a guy that reportedly wrote that people concerned about rape should take some responsibility for themselves.
Oh, shit. He said people who are concerned about rape should take responsibility themselves. Now we're on a slippery slope. Maybe he's just a truth speaker. Like, hey, don't get drunk at a frat party. Maybe that's what he meant.
And not get so effed up that they wind up having sex with someone they don't mean to.
Yeah, that's what he said. Oh, but he did blame the victim there. Don't get so drunk that you have sex with someone that you didn't mean to. That's kind of conflating rape. Yeah, what does that even mean? Yeah. Okay, here we go.
He praised military tactics used by Hamas, reportedly.
He praised military tactics used by Hamas.
In comments online and Reddit when they were murdering Israeli soldiers. So I'm just curious why you think he's your kind of man.
So as
She said, I'm curious why you think he's your kind of man. Now, Elizabeth Warren's going to try to answer this. Wow.
you rightly point out, he has apologized. He's out meeting with the people of Maine every single day so they can evaluate not who Graham Plattner was, but who Graham Plattner is today. And
Oh, so she's saying that's who he used to be, but he's not that guy anymore. So he's not the Jew-hating, cut the tits off of women, put babies in microwaves kind of guy anymore. He's not a rapist anymore. He's not a Nazi tattoo wearing guy anymore. And they need to evaluate him for who he is now.
let me tell you exactly how that comment came to be. I was describing how I didn't know Graham Plattner from anybody, and I'm reading an interview with him, and he's asked, when did you first know that the game was rigged? And he harks back to the 2008 crash, when 10 million families lost their homes, when 8 million people lost their jobs, when millions of people lost their savings, and when big banks cheated folks.
She's saying that the 2008 crash was because people were cheated. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the 2008 crash was because people were borrowing money that they had no ability to pay back. It's so crazy to blame the banks for that. Imagine your neighbor drops off a box of cookies in front of your house every single morning. Ultra processed fucking Keebler cookies. And you get fat, and so you blame your neighbor. That's what happened. You can't blame your fucking neighbor for that. You can't blame your fucking neighbor for that. That's crazy. Anyway, she's saying that Graham Plattner was upset about that and things like that. And so that's why he's her kind of man.
When non-bank financial institutions tricked them, robbed them of their homes.
Oh, they were tricked. They were tricked. Not financial institutions tricked people into borrowing that money. Got it. Got it. Oh my God. How are we going to survive on the planet with these people? How are we going to survive on the planet with these people? They don't want to take any responsibility or accountability. They don't want to be thankful. I had a family member who, so basically, I had a family member during this loaning period. What they did was, you could take a loan at a higher interest rate if you didn't. You could tell them how much money you made per year, but you didn't have to prove it. So basically, they were giving you the ability to lie of how much money you made, and then they would give you a loan, but it would be at a higher interest rate because you didn't prove it. And so you have to be smart. You have to be like, I know I can do this. I know I can do this. You know what I mean? Like the odds are against me that I'm going to be able to pay this back based on some formulas, but I know that I still drive a 1977 Volkswagen Rabbit, and so that I'm smart with my money, so I can take out this fucked up loan so I can get into this house. And it worked out great for my relative. They bought a house for $500,000 that ended up being worth $2 million. And they paid it off and all that shit. But for some people, and because those people were fucking idiots and got into loans that they couldn't pay back, they were just excited they could get the loan. The loans failed.
And Graham
And you want to blame the government and the banks for that? It's like, fuck you.
Plattner
It's just taking away people's freedoms. That's all they want to do.
answer on when he knew the game was rigged was when not one banker went to jail. And I said, that's my kind of man.
Okay, well, I dig it next to a video of a bunch of terrorists killing 5 soldiers. I don't know. I mean, you guys want to be the party of inclusivity, right?
I want to be the party that stands up for hardworking people.
Look how this interviewer stops talking and leaves her mouth open like that. What's she doing?
I want to be the party that is transformative of an economy that right now is hip deep in corruption, and an economy that's working for a handful of billionaires and multi-millionaires, and not.
The economy's always going to work for a handful of billionaires and millionaires and trillionaires. That's the way it fucking works. What the fuck is she talking about? That's what you want. You don't want an economy that's working for the government. The government doesn't produce any wealth.
working for much of anyone else. I want us to be the party that actually delivers on lowering costs and that expands opportunities. And that's what Graham Plattner wants to do. And I'm there to stand with him and to help in that fight.
So Elizabeth Warren, I don't care that he rapes women. Fucking wild. Okay, let's hear from the lady who was R-worded that he was dating, which you guys say it's possible to rape someone you're dating.
To buy Kevlar. Rape is a real thing. If you're so worried,
Oh, we need one with better audio. We need one with.
What did you think when you saw that?
I thought.
Doesn't that look like the lady was standing behind him? We need better audio. Hold on. Let me see if I can find. Oh, there's the tattoo. That's his. He said he says he blames rape victims, takes responsibility, don't get so fucked up. Why don't black people tip? I don't think there's any problem saying that. Called rural Maine voters racist and stupid. Backed ACAB and screamed fuck. I don't know what ACAB is. Openly called himself a communist and pushed political violence. Show me the quote. Got a Nazi tattoo. That's not good. Sent dirty text to women while married. That's and kept a kick profile. I don't know what that is. Mocked a wounded Purple Heart soldier as dumb motherfucker who didn't deserve to live. Fat lazy trash. Wow. Bragged he'd rape a man breaking into his ex-girlfriend's apartment. I would rape them to show him I'm dominant. Wow. Told a teenage girl who tried to commit suicide someone clearly isn't trying hard enough. Wow. All of that came out before these most recent accusations, and the Dems were still defending him. They were still defending him with all that shit being said about him. Let's see. Let's see what this chick says. This chick's a trip. This is the show that Scott Jennings is on a lot. Kate Collins, what's her name?
There is an issue here with a lot of very prominent Democrats, Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, two among them,
My kind of man.
who basically turned the other way at the first set of allegations. Why does it take a sexual assault allegation for them
to
to
that
change their
point, I
minds?
heard Kirsten Gillibrand, Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, speak at the Aspen Institute last week. And when Graham Plattner came up, all she had to say was that he was a strong candidate and was going to, soar to a victory. There was no even an acknowledgement of the New York Times report of the Nazi tattoo. And if you all will remember, this is the same senator who was called the Me Too senator, in part because she led the charge against Al Franken in the Senate. She very much, was instrumental in pushing that culture forward. And I think Me Too was necessary in a lot of ways. But we didn't need a rape allegation to know that Graham Plattner had already allegedly violated the standards that she set. And she was willing to sacrifice all her principles among many other Democrats to go up against arguably the most moderate Republican in the Senate, Susan Collins, who's already willing to go up against Trump. This is not some super partisan person.
All right. So more defense. While women screaming for justice, the party that claims to believe all women is circling the wagons around Graham Plattner, accused by multiple exes of rape, and sick fantasies, complete with a Nazi tattoo they knew about and ignored. I was okay with Graham Plattner getting a Nazi tattoo, being physically abusive as a boyfriend, his racist and misogynistic comments on Reddit, sexting minors on Kick, wishing death on a fellow soldier, cranking hog in a porta potty, lying about his reason for enlisting in the military for the Afghan-Iraq wars, leaving the military to work for Blackwater and being a communist. But sexual assault is where I draw the line. This guy's being sarcastic. I want to find that interview with her with good audio so we can judge the victim. Here's a senator saying he deserves grace.
Frankly, Mr. Plattner is a four-tour combat veteran.
and someone whose conduct as he came home from war, many have questioned. I don't know him and don't know him at all well, but I'm going to give him a measure of grace and wait until I get a chance to hear more about the details of all these different allegations. In my view, the folks who we have here in the Senate and who
you guys, Sevon doesn't do boundaries. He's never going to understand raping your girlfriend. Oh, are we still doing that? Why wouldn't you have sex with your boyfriend? Here, let me ask you this. Why do you have a boyfriend if you don't want to have sex? Why do you have a boyfriend? Why not just date him? I guess people have different it's kind of like the prenup thing. Why get married if you're going to get a prenup? Just don't even get married. But what if the person goes crazy? Well, isn't it till death do you part? Just don't get married. That's not for you, is what I'm saying. Just don't do that. Why get a dog if you're going to get upset when he chews your shoes? That's what dogs do. Why get a dog if you're going to be upset when it barks? Why did you do that? Why get a boyfriend if you don't want to have sex with someone? That's all I'm saying. He doesn't help around the house. Perimenopause. It's a rough patch at work. Hormones are off. You just had a baby. Listen, very well said. If you just had a baby and your if you just had a baby and your husband wants to pound your hole, yeah, you have a problem. You're right. You're going through menopause and you've lost your sex drive and you're repulsed by cock. Yeah, okay. Those are great. I get it. Those are good. Thank you. Does that happen? You reach a certain age and all of a sudden you were just starved for cock in your 30s and 40s, and then all of a sudden you just don't want it anymore? Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, I hear you. Thank you for the explanation. Do you help around the house, Sevi? Do you want to hear the things I do around the house? If someone spills something on the floor, I'm almost insistent on wiping it up myself because I don't trust anyone else doing it well. And the couple days it took to potty train the dog, if the dog peed in the house, I was the one who ordered the gallon of vinegar and made all the spray bottles and put them all around the house and made sure we had and ordered the extra rags, even though we have a shitload already. And then anytime the dog diddled around the house, if I was there, I ran over to clean it up because I didn't trust anyone else to clean it up well enough. I do the wash. I every night before I go to bed, I check to make sure there's no wet clothes in the washing machine, which there always are, and I move them to the dryer because it drives me fucking nuts to think that there would be wet clothes that sat in the washer overnight. 3 times a year, I'll clean the jiu-jitsu mats. I take care of the garden. I don't do dishes. I don't empty the dishwasher. I don't really vacuum. I've been known to pull the vacuum out. I don't do that. I don't fold clothes. I stay on top of the kids to put all their shit in their room. I don't let the kids in the house after we go to the beach unless they go straight to the shower. I make them stay outside. I say, you have 2 choices. You either stay outside or go straight to the shower. No, I do not make no. Do not make dinner. Like, what do you mean make dinner? Like, I would open a pack if like my wife was gone, which she hasn't been forever at dinner time. But if she was periodically gone, I would like open a pack of salami and like cut a cantaloupe up or something. I take the car to the to get. I take the car to get any repairs. I think I don't really do much, to be honest. I don't really do much. I'll spray down the TV once in a while to make sure to get any smudge marks off the screen. I bring in the mail. I take out the trash. I'm mostly just in the yard. I'm in the yard a lot. I don't really do. I honestly don't do much. Sevi, have you ever cranked your hog in a porta potty? No, that sounds disgusting to me. I don't crank my hog in any bathroom. No. God, I so wish I could say yes to this. Do you get your beard hair out of the sink? I want to tell you I do, but once a month my wife says, "Hey, can you wipe your beard hair out of the sink?" And the thing is I shave and then I just run in and do the podcast. I know it's and yes, Evan, you influence people, so we are always going to do this. If I see or hear someone say something wild like, "How can you rape your girlfriend?" You think that that's wild? You think that that's wild? You think that that's... I've had a shitload of girlfriends. I've never had a girl tell me, "No, you can't have sex." I just don't. I can't. I don't. I also have never come home drunk and railed my chick. I can't ever remember doing that. Maybe I can't ever remember doing that. Yes, it's a crazy statement. Okay. I think it's crazy that here's what I think is crazy. I think it's crazy that you have a boyfriend you don't want to have sex with. That you won't have sex with. You can only rape your girlfriend if she's telling herself the wrong story. Ooh. Boy, you're going to get in trouble, Clock. I've railed a chick while drunk, yeah. For sure. But I've never in my life come home drunk from somewhere. Fuck, who knows? I'm 50 something. I can't remember shit, but I can never, I tell you this, I've never been out at a bar getting drunk and then come home and rail my wife. That's never happened. I've sat around the house and drank a bottle of wine with my wife and when she got railed. Okay, where are we? And hey, in on the other spectrum, if someone did say no to me, that sounds absolutely disgusting. That sounds absolutely horrible to have sex with someone who doesn't want to have sex with you. That seems to negate 51% of the reason why you're having sex. Why the fuck would you want to have sex with someone who didn't want to have sex with you? It doesn't even register to me. Yeah, exactly. Oh, and yeah, I see your point. I think maybe I just proved your guys' point. Point Olivia and Christine. Okay, here we go. This guy's defending Graham Plattner. This is Chris Coons. What a name.
You know, frankly, Mr. Plattner is a four-tour combat veteran and someone whose conduct as he came home from war, many have questioned. I don't know him and don't know him at all well, but I'm going to give him a measure of grace and wait until I get a chance to hear more about the details of all these different allegations. In my view, the folks who we have here in the Senate and who we might have here in the Senate, we should hold a high.
What a crazy situation to be in, where you can't just be yourself and be like, fuck this guy. I don't want nothing to do with him. This isn't fair. You know it's bad when far left Bill Maher is calling out Graham Plattner. I don't think of Bill Maher as far left. Do you guys? I don't think he's far left.
What I do know is he served his country in the Marines in war, and you can never discount how big that is. But then there's the sexting while married, scary behavior, so say some of his exes, old posts about how he's a communist and all cops are bastards and black people don't tip. Here's a typical Plattner quote.
What's wrong with saying black people don't tip? Sexting while your marriage is fucked-hearted. You are a fucking idiot if you do that. Let me tell you why you're so fucking stupid if you do that. If you're in a relationship where you have to guard your phone, you are in a fucked up relationship. Unless any way you spin it, like you're in a fucked up relationship if you have to guard your phone. You never want to have to guard your phone. Guard your phone. You don't think you're gonna fucking get caught sexting someone? I have all my text messages open on all my computers. I have computers all over my fucking house. Like, if you're doing fucked up shit on your phone, then like, what are you supposed when you like? You must live in like perpetual, like some sort of deep anxiety. I would fucking hate that. There was this friend of mine. I don't know if I should tell this one. I shouldn't tell this one. I was going to tell you a story. This story has boobs in it. It's great. It's a great story. It's a great life lesson. Maybe when I'm 65, I'll tell you this story. Don't do that. Just think. Just any time you're going to do something stupid like that, just remember your spouse can see your phone. Even if that's like a horrible reason, like not to do it, at least it's a fucking firewall to it. It's the last line of defense. Just be like, hey, do I want to live my life lying and hiding? It's no way to live your life. Don't do anything stupid on your phone. Don't do anything stupid at all. Just always pretend like your wife's watching you. The fuck is wrong with you?
What he said about the Iraq War, you can think it's dumb and also kind of not want to miss it. And then, of course, there's the Nazi tattoo on his chest. I mean, seriously, this guy's whole life is the movie The Hangover.
Why did they show a picture of Nicole Kidman there? That was weird.
He doesn't need a term in the Senate. He needs a gap year in Costa Rica. I wish the tattoo was the scariest thing about Plattner. It's not. That would be his solution to a home invasion, which is to rape the home invader.
Graham Plattner told a bizarre fantasy about raping home invaders. Not in a gay way, ex-girlfriend claims. Wow.
And no, of course, that's not policy he's proposing. It's a fantasy his ex says he talked about. Next week, it'll be policy. And to be fair, he said the raping wasn't something he'd do in a gay way.
Listen, if you think that I had a friend of mine tell me like, hey, this was kind of disturbing to me, to be honest. I had a friend tell me, yeah, I'm not nice to black people when they come into the restaurant because they never tip. This person was a minority too, by the way. And I just remember thinking, holy shit, if I was a waiter and I got black people, I would do everything in my power. I would see it as a challenge. If I thought that, if my brain would go the opposite way, if I held that notion that black people don't tip, anytime I had a black person come in, I would be like, I'm fucking getting a tip from these motherfuckers. And hey, by the way, that makes you a piece of shit that you have to realize. Not the racist part. That's not what makes you a piece of shit. And not a piece of shit to the outside world, but it makes you a piece of shit to yourself. You should not treat people based on the way they treat you most of the time, 99% of the time. You should treat people the way you want to treat people. You should not let them own you. Just because someone's an asshole to you doesn't mean you have to be an asshole back to them. Good morning. My kid just got braces. Isn't braces just a tool of the man? Why'd you get your kid braces? I remember I had to wear a retainer. I went through like 5 retainers as a kid, and I kept losing them and shit, or I wouldn't wear them because I had an overbite. And I remember asking the dentist, "Hey, if I don't fix this, eventually, are you saying that my bottom teeth will dig into the underside of my gums, like hit the roof of my mouth?" And he said, "Yeah." What a fucking stupid thing that he fucking said to me. He straight lied to me. I've never, ever once in my life ever heard of that happening. And my bite is perfect. I don't care if someone thinks that it looks like an overbite. I don't need my jaw fucking rearranged. What the fuck do I care? Maybe an underbite I could see being concerned about, but an overbite? How about go fuck yourself? Yeah, that happened to me too. My son stopped wearing his retainer and now it doesn't fit. Yeah. Fuck doing any of that stuff. Daughter's son had his for an incredibly long time because he refused to wear his rubber bands. Dental work world has become way overdone for kids. I can't believe the kids that go to get braces sometimes. Yeah, I'd be very curious why you got your kid braces. I'm not doing shit. They told me they were going to pull out. When I was young, when my molars or what's that one in the back came in, the dentist is like, "We need to pull those out." I'm like, "How come?" He's like, "To make room for your other teeth." How about go fuck yourself? What do you mean to make room for my other teeth? To make room for your other teeth? I need that fucker back there. What are you talking about? How does someone not use their own discernment and be like, "What are you talking about?" Pull out my fucking teeth to make room for my other teeth. Yeah, my wisdom teeth. Yeah, I'm going to have my wisdom teeth pulled out. That's fucking insane. Oh, I'm going to let you take out my tonsils. How about no? Anyway, I don't see Bill Maher as being Bill Maher's not far left. This is Ro Khan. This is the senator out of California. Let's see what this jackass has. This is a very dangerous man. Very dangerous man.
My view is that even according to the New York Times piece, they said there was no harm, no injury. There was toxicity, and there was verbal intimidation, which I condemn. But Graham has made it clear that there was no evidence of violence. That, to me, is a red line. My view is that.
I have to fucking go on a rant here in a second. Are we almost done with this? This guy. Oh, here it is. Oh, here it is. This is all I wanted. Okay, so after this, we're done. This is the this is his girlfriend. God, I hope the audio is good on this.
I know that you have been very reluctant to tell this story. Yeah. Very reluctant. Why did you ultimately decide to do it? Why come forward?
Wouldn't anyone be reluctant to tell their rape story? That seems fair. I'd be reluctant, I think.
A few reasons.
He said, "Why are you coming forward?" And she's going to tell you the reason she's coming forward.
One of the biggest ones is that I think that there are a lot of men in this world relying on the silence of women and to be where they are. And I don't want to contribute to that. I also want to just get my life back.
There are going to be people, maybe even his campaign, certainly his supporters, who say this is politically motivated. What would you say to that?
I couldn't disagree more. That was actually one of the reasons.
Hey, I don't blame her. I'm not like, hey, she's just coming out. I don't think you can say, like, why did she wait till now? I think it makes perfect sense why she waited till now. I can't. If you guys want to have that fight, I'll have that fight. I'll stand up for her. I don't have an issue with. How about applauding her for having the balls to come out?
Is that I didn't come out.
Because you agree with his politics.
I do. I really agree with his politics. I think we need somebody with those political stances.
Oh, she agrees with those politics. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit.
And who are willing to do the work. And, I see his political videos. They get me fired up as well. I understand why people want someone like him in office. And I felt like me coming forward would essentially potentially take that away. And I felt really uncomfortable with the responsibility and the weight of my story and what that might do.
When people hear this from you, are you saying you should not vote for him because of what happened?
I'm not going to go as far as to say that.
Holy shit. Holy shit. This is weird. This is weird. She's not even unendorsing him. His mic is off. I don't know. Maybe it's just the Twitter recording. It almost feels like someone recorded this just straight off pointed a camera at the TV.
I'm just here to tell my story, to give a clearer picture of who he is and the type of past that he has. And I just think it's fair to the democratic process to let people know who they're voting.
This is bizarro world. Rokon, I've been very clear that sexual assault or violence against women is a red line. These allegations are very serious and credible. Graham Plattner should drop out from the race. I'm withdrawing my endorsement. Rokon. A woman says that Graham Plattner, the Democrat nominee for the U.S. Senate in Maine, entered her home without permission and raped her while he was heavily intoxicated 5 years ago. Okay, there's another one, Olivia. I've never had a girlfriend where I couldn't just enter her home. Like, then she's probably not my girlfriend. Do you know what I mean? Are you with me there? Like, have you ever had you've had a boyfriend where he's not allowed to enter your home? They were in a casual dating relationship. Yeah, if you're casually dating someone, there you go. If you're that makes more sense. I didn't read that part. If you're casually dating someone, yeah, they can't just enter your home. So maybe I have it misunderstood. These allegations are very serious, and Graham Plattner vigorously denies them, Plattner's campaign said. Plattner says the allegations are troubling, serious, and false. Any accusations of non-consensual behavior is categorically untrue. It sounds like he was drunk and he wouldn't even know. Ruben Gallego, I'm rescinding my endorsement. And here's this is Elizabeth Warren. This is just recently, by the way. She's a horrible judge of character.
Here because Washington needs fighters, and Graham Plattner is the fighter we need. You bet. I said to myself, that's my kind of man. Because that is a man who not only has the values, but a man who believes in accountability. And we need a little accountability coming out of Washington right now. We need Graham Plattner to come in and get rid of the corruption in Washington. Time for new laws. I am here.
And then the Nazi salute. That's crazy.
We need Graham Plattner to come in and get rid of the corruption in Washington. Time for new laws.
And then the Nazi salute. That's awesome. Dems crack me up. I know. I just keep looking at the crowd. I'm looking at all those young people there. Oh my God. I was at a Vote Grand Platinum. I was at the beach yesterday watching the boys surf. What's happened is I had this this is one of the big shortcomings of my parenting. Big shortcoming. So I live in Santa Cruz. I live right by the beach, and it's a beautiful beach, and it's a huge surfer community. All sorts of like crazy world-class waves here. We're south of Mavericks, that giant wave, that famous giant wave. We're just south of there. All sorts of famous surfing spots. I mean, it's fucking California, right? And so I've taken my kids to like swim team lessons. They weren't on the swim team. I didn't want them to be on the swim team, but I would take them to these swim team lessons where they would swim with the swim team. They're just little kids. And my kids would just do the practice, and they did that 3 days a week for a half hour. And they did that for a few months, but my kids just weren't good swimmers, and they liked it. But every time I went somewhere, I was worried about them in the water. And they all learned how to swim really late in life. For what I thought, like, I think you should be swimming by the time you're 3 or 4. And like, I don't know exactly, but Avi was 8 or 9 and still not, still like hanging out in the shallow end of the pool, like saying crazy shit. Like, I can't swim in the deep end, that kind of crazy shit. But they started getting better and better. And then I would take, anywhere we'd go to Greg's house for a couple weeks, and I would see them in the pool, and they learned freestyle and backstroke, and they learned how to float. And every time we went to the beach, they would just take their clothes off or run in with their clothes, and they got better and better to where they just seemed like just normal kids. You know what I mean? Like, they just liked the pool. They would do flips into the pool, just all that shit. And last time I was at Greg's house, I did freestyle races with Avi and underwater swim with the boys, and so they just seemed like just normal swimmers, but just not where I'd want them to be. And I always had concerns about it because we live by the Pacific Ocean, and I wanted my kids to be in the water. And I bought them surfboards, and I'd given them surf lessons and tons of swimming lessons and all that shit. And I just thought, wow, what a shortcoming that we live here and we have this resource that is the Pacific Ocean right next to us, and my kids aren't embracing it. So I told Avi one time, like a year ago, I go, hey dude, if you ever get if you ever get into surfing, I will never say no to you. So we could be going to anywhere. We could be going to fucking a funeral. And if you want to surf, I won't go to the funeral, and I'll take you surfing. We could be going to your SAT test, and if you say you want to go surfing, I'll take you surfing. If you like, I'll skip a jiu-jitsu tournament. If you get into surfing, I'll never say no to you for surfing. I just said that to him one day. Well, about 2 months ago, famous last words. About 2 months ago, he said, hey, dude, I want to go surfing today. And I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. And it comes very easy for him. Obviously, he skates like he's a skating freak. He can skateboard like a freak, and he's got his own style, and he just loves the freedom of skating. He just loves skating bowls. So I said, okay. So I forget what we were doing. I think we had something to do that day, and I put the wetsuits on the boys, all 3 of them, and Avi went surfing and the other 2 didn't. I think we only had 1 board. And he stayed in the water for like 2 hours. He probably caught like 30 waves. Just little surfing, not like surfing you see on TV. They don't even look like waves. And he's not like surfing parallel to the beach like regular surfers. A wave comes and he paddles into it. It's like a little, 12-inch wave. And then he jumps on a surfboard and he rides this foam board and he rides it into the beach. And he's doing that. He's catching like every little tiny wave. Then the next day, he's like, hey, I want to go surfing again. So now it's like 2 days in a row, then 3 days in a row, then 4 days in a row. And then we go to Newport Beach, and Ari says he wants to surf. So I fucking spent $500 on a surfboard for him there. which was crazy. And Ari starts surfing. And then we come home to Santa Cruz, and Greg had bought Avi this $1,000 fiberglass surfboard. And Avi's like, hey, I'm not surfing a foam board anymore. I'm only going to surf a fiberglass board. And now what's happened is all three of the boys are surfing, and we've been going every single day, and it's 2.5 hours. And so the whole fucking schedule's in shambles. Everything's in shambles. Everything's in shambles. And today, after I get off the show, I'm supposed to take him to gymnastics. And what if he says he wants to go surfing? I can't take him out of gymnastics. And I bought him a watch that tells you when the high tide and the low tide is. So I would say the last, I'm just making this shit up. The last 40 days, he surfed 30 days, 2 hours a day. And now all the boys are surfing. Joseph's surfing, Ari's surfing, everyone's fucking surfing. And being the helicopter dad that I am, I put the wetsuits on them and take them off. If you want to fucking blow your brains out, if you're not mentally stable at all, if you have any kinks in the system, do not try to put a wetsuit on your child. It is fucking crazy. Thank God I'm a fucking master yogi and I know how to breathe through shit, because that is crazy, taking on and off wetsuits off of kids. And all the other kids their age are putting on their own wetsuits and taking them off. But no, not this helicopter dad. You know what I did yesterday? Yesterday, I gave them their wetsuits. We got to the beach and I was like, hey, I forgot something in the car. Because I knew I couldn't resist going over and trying to help them put on their wetsuits. So I had forgot something in the car, and I was like, dear God, I hope they try to put on their wetsuits while I'm fucking gone. And I came back and Avi had his on by himself. Thank God. Every time I put their wetsuits on, I'm like, by the time I'm done putting on all three of their wetsuits, I'm in a downpour of sweat. I'm like a fat man walking around a bowling alley. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to fucking. And thank God my wife wanted this is why you don't always listen to your wife. Most of the time you should listen to your wife, especially if your wife doesn't talk a lot. Like my wife does not talk a lot. So when she says something, like, I just do it. But the other day, for the last few months, she's like, hey, we need to get a new car. And like, she knows that she isn't going to have to push me far before I'll just jump up and do it. Thank God I fucking resisted. Thank God I resisted. Oh, maybe I should do that coconut oil. Maybe I should try that. That's a great idea. Thank you, Olivia. Thank God I resisted, because the car is now complete. If I had a new car and I was going to the beach like we're going, because every time you put the surfboards and wetsuits in and out of the car, you bring in 3 pounds of sand. I bet you we have 40 pounds of sand in our car. I'm going to have to get some special vacuum cleaner that makes it easy and fun to vacuum the car, so I don't have to drag out our shark out there with a 50-foot cord. And you know, you're just a jackass out there with the vacuum. You have the whole vacuum out there and you're taking off the hose and you're trying to get all the cracks and shit. I don't do that either. My wife does that and my kids do that. But it's gotten to the point where the car's just so full of sand. But if I would have had a new car, I would be freaking out right now. Thank God we didn't get a new car. I told my wife yesterday, holy shit, we dodged a bullet. I would be losing my shit right now if we had a new car. Even a shop vac, though, Mr. Young, even a shop vac, isn't that kind of a pain in the ass? Like I need it so the whole unit is just something I can hold in my hand. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to wheel anything out there with the cord, and then you have the hose coming from it. I don't want to do that. I just want like a little powerful, like. No, you need a Jeep Wrangler. No, an old Sienna van is perfect. It's perfect. I just lower one of the back seats and shove in 3 surfboards and throw the wetsuits on the ground. Car smells like salt water. Anyway, so that's my situation right now. And of course, anytime your kid's passionate about something, you should feed it like no other. But holy shit, this is hard. And this is hard. Anyway, so Yesterday I was at the beach and my boys were surfing, and I can't get anything done when I'm there at the beach surfing. They're surfing. I can't get anything done because I'm watching them the whole time. It's crazy. I love my phone. I love my phone. I love my little Clash Royale video game. I love X. I love iMessage. I love my phone. I love Robinhood. My phone has so many fun. I love YouTube. I love going to YouTube Studio and looking at the stats. I absolutely love my phone. I can call my sister. My phone is sick. But I cannot do anything on my phone when they're out in the water. I can't multitask at all because the whole time, all I do is go, there's Joseph, there's Ari, there's Avi. Handful of sunflower seeds. There's Joseph, there's Ari, there's Avi. I'm just taking inventory the whole fucking time. I can't even believe it. One time I was there and I tried to play Clash Royale, and I had a fucking panic attack because when I was done with the game, I didn't know where they were. Yeah, my phone on a necklace. Like I can just this thing allows me that anytime I want, I can just call someone. I can just like if I think of some funny bit or something, I can just call Sousa or Taylor and just tell them it. I can call Greg whenever I want. I can see what my wife is doing. No, I don't surf. Yesterday, some parents were giving me shit that I don't get in the water with my kids. I'm like, holy fuck, I want an award for bringing them there. I could call Jody Lynn. So I'm sitting there at the beach, and there's these two girls, and they're not dressed in beach attire. And one of them is like 9, and one of them is 13. And the 9-year-old, and we're right like, basically there's this wall, there's like a giant wall along the beach that separates the sand from the sidewalk, right? And where you walk, all the people walk that don't go on the beach. And then there's a wall there and you can sit on it. It's like 3 feet wide and like 2 feet high, right? It's the kind of wall, like if you have a 2-year-old, you put them up there and they walk along it and you don't have to worry about them falling off because it's wide. Maybe it's even 4 feet wide. It's wide. Like you can sit on there. You could put a large pizza on there and sit in front of it and eat it. And people put their bikes up against it and their pizzas and their wetsuits. And it's a whole scene at the wall. And then there's the beach and then the lifeguards and all that. So I take this chair I have and I set it on the wall. And the beach is just right down. And the area where they surf, the beach is really narrow. So when at low tide, it's probably like only 50 feet of beach, which is not much. And at high tide, the water comes all the way up to the wall. So I just sit on top of the wall in my chair and I just look out at them. And there's these two girls standing there, and the 9-year-old girl goes to her sister, hey, I'm going to go down to the beach. And the 13-year-old's like, no, I don't want to go. And she's like, no, please come with me. And she's like, no, I don't want to go. And the 9-year-old, come on, we're here. Let's go to the beach. And the dad's off in the back, like, I don't know what he was doing. And finally, the 13-year-old goes, I don't want to go down there. These are brand new clothes. I don't want them to get wet. And at that point, I realized I was doing everything right with my kids. Those are the kind of thoughts that I had always as a kid. I don't want to get sweaty. I don't want to get my clothes dirty. I don't want to mess my hair up. That was like my whole fucking life between as far back as like 7 to 24, 23. Whenever I turned into a hippie. I never want my kids to have that mentality. I want them to be like, hey, I'm at the beach. I don't give a fuck. I'm jumping in with my clothes on. She didn't want to. I totally felt her. I got her. I wasn't like judging her like she's a bad person, but I was just like, that's not. I want my kid to stay like the 9-year-old. Like, I don't give a shit. I'm going down to the beach. Really, those are girls' thoughts, but I never had those thoughts. I had them all the fucking time. I would be 16 years old and pull up in my car on a hot day and look for a closer parking spot so that when I walked into the store or wherever I was going, I wouldn't break a sweat. Now half the times I forget my shoes where I get somewhere, I'm like, fuck, I don't have any shoes. I don't know if I can go in there. That's the way I want my kids to be. I want my kids to just seize the day, constantly but just seize the day. And I heard that, and a little part of me was like, sad for her. I know that feeling. It just seize the fucking day. Just do it. When we were in Newport Beach, my kids at sunset would go swim in the ocean, and I would always want to go in, but I just thought it was too much of a pain in the ass. A little bit of that old behavior was creeping up inside of me. I don't want to do that. I don't want to get cold. I don't want to be sandy. I don't want to have to go home and deal with that shit. And finally, Avi comes over to me and goes, "Hey, can I tell you something?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "If you come in the sun was setting," he goes, "The ocean is not cold, and if you come in with me right now, you'll be so much happier than you are now." I fucking took off my clothes, fucking just had some shorts on, took off all my shirt, my sweatshirt and hat, and jumped in the ocean. And he was right. I was 1,000 times happier. And I stayed in the ocean for 30 minutes till the sun went down. Caller, hi.
Hey, dude.
Hey, dude.
Hey, so I live pretty vicariously through your kids. I mean, I have my own, but when you're divorced, things work a little bit different. You share kids. So for me, during the summer, we do week on, week off. But then in the school year, I actually have them more. So I have them every week because mom moved a few hours away. And then she gets them on the week, three weekends of the month during the school year, right? Well, the problem that I'm running into is during the school year, I want them to do the sports and the things and all the things I grew up doing, not to make it into the league or anything, but just to have the value of all that stuff. But the problem is weekends come and, track meets, whatever, events happen on the weekend. And
by the way, congratulations. Congratulations. I didn't realize you had your kids that much. That's awesome.
Yeah, I do. She moved a few hours away, and she had this crazy idea. Not that I have anything against homeschooling, but the type of homeschooling she came up with was they would basically homeschool themselves. So they would spend a week with me, homeschool themselves while I'm at work, and then a week with her, and same thing. And I'm like, yeah, if I'm going to homeschool, I'm going to be home, kind of like you guys got it set up. But that's not possible at the moment. Anyways, so yeah, I fought real hard to get them. So during the school, I had them a lot. But again, my problem is I want them to do the things, sports and the things like that. And maybe there are a few things they can do throughout the week, but the major sports and the baseballs and the, all that stuff, weekend comes and the 3 weekends they're with mom, I can't do that. So I'm running into that problem. But my question for you, my man, is with all these activities and all these sports, do you have a plan of honing it down to like 2 or 3 or 1, or like what's the plan? How long do you just open them up to all these different events, activities, sports, or you're going to hone it down? You and Haley are going to be like, no, we're going to go for jiu-jitsu primarily or tennis. Like, you guys got a plan, or is it just like free for all?
Definitely no plan. Definitely, we don't have a plan. And it's so interesting because I can't really relate to my kids in that way because I had no skills like that. The first thing I ever earned was when I was 16 years old and I had a job at this store called Drug Barn. It was like a CVS, but they sold everything in bulk. It was like before there was Costco. And I earned a paycheck. And my kids have earned so much stuff already, like belts and jiu-jitsu. They've won more. They win more gold medals in a weekend than I've won medals in my whole life. Like I can't even relate to like how much they've achieved already on that level. That being said, in the beginning, remember, I used to always say, like, I want to be in a competition with my instructors, and I always want all the kids' instructors to push me harder. I want them always to be winning. Like, hey, your kid's not training enough. Your kid's not doing this enough. Your kid needs to be doing that. And I wanted to always be with instructors who were pushing me and my kids harder than I could push them. That being said, about a year ago, I lost that power. I lost that fight with all the instructors, and I kind of conceded. And I've lived with a little bit of guilt. And what that loss looks like is my kids never missed a practice, no matter what, you know, more or less. They made 95% of all the practices. Like, we were the one who was always at jiu-jitsu. We were the one who were always at tennis. We never missed a skating appointment. We would even go if it was raining and just hope it didn't rain. We never missed a music lesson. Like, I was just like fucking insane about it, obsessed with no matter what it took. And there were things that were like falling through the cracks, of course. You know what I mean? Like, when Greg would invite me, let's say, somewhere to go do something, and I wouldn't, that would be amazing for my kids, and I wouldn't do it because I didn't want to like break the schedule, which would be a huge mistake, because the opportunities they would get from visiting Greg for 2 weeks in High Idaho will be invaluable, right? They'll learn how to fish, sail, just invaluable, life-changing experiences. Anyway, so I started losing that battle about a year ago. And probably in the last few months, I actually started getting comfortable with it. And it's weird, because, you know, you're disappointing the instructors a little bit when you start losing, right? And they start putting pressure on you. They want to know why you're not like going to Florida or Vegas, or why your kids, you know, like why your kids aren't showing up to practice all the time like they used to. And then finally last week, their jiu-jitsu instructor, who's put so much time into them, goes, "Hey, Sevan, can I talk to you?" And I said, "Sure." And he goes, "Hey, I just wanted to tell you that the way you're doing things with your kids is perfect." He goes, "If you keep doing it like that, there's plenty of time for them to do everything. And you have kids that just show no signs of burnout." And it was hugely validating. This instructor's never said anything like that to me. Instead, they've always put like this really gentle pressure on me to get my kids to do more. Like, they didn't think they didn't think my kids should be doing CrossFit. They didn't see the value in my kids playing tennis. I always got that feeling from him. And then all of a sudden he said that to me, and it is true, because my kids do so many different things. They don't have burnout. Like, they never complain about doing anything. Like, never. Like, after this show, if I went in there and said, "Hey, we're not going to gymnastics today," they would be bummed. They would be pissed. And so I don't have a plan. I don't have a goal. One of my kids did say something really wild to me the other day. He goes, "Do you know what my biggest fear is?" And I said, "What?" And he goes, "Not making it to the UFC." And I'm thinking to myself, holy shit. Like, my biggest fear as a kid was like, I was going to get home from school and my sister drank the last Capri Sun. So I don't have a plan. I'm just winging it.
What do you do with that statement? I want to be in the UFC.
I fucking had just terror. And like, he told me yesterday, he walks right up to me. This is the third time he's done it in the last month. And he says, "Hey, Heidi." And I said, "What?" And he goes, "Go to Amazon now and get me headgear." And like, I don't want my kid going into the UFC. I don't want my kid getting fucking punched in the head.
Sounds like we're pulling them out of jiu-jitsu now, huh?
No.
Redirection.
No. I won't do anything like that. I'll always support their passions. But also, this kid is now obsessed with Ari's now obsessed with surfing too, like Avi. So, but they told me that they just want to surf and fight. Like, he told me, "Hey, I'm just gonna surf and fight." And he told me, he goes, "And you know why I want to go to the UFC?" I go, "Why?" He goes, "I just want to know that every room I walk into, I could beat everyone up." Like, all right.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to have those thoughts already. I'm like, all right. So I don't know. I have no plan. That doesn't answer. Yeah, they love Conor, but they also love Max. They know Conor's going to get taught. The other day we watched the 45-minute UFC, hype film for the fight this weekend. And we did a rope climb toes to bar workout, which I'm so sore from. And they're like, fucking Conor, they're like all telling me Conor's going to get his ass beat.
I agree with them.
I agree with him too. He's gonna get humiliated.
It's gonna be a retirement fight.
Yeah, he looks old. His hair looks old. He has steroid hair. Do you know what I mean? His hair looks brittle and shit.
Oh yeah, it's like brittle and hard and
Yeah.
rough looking. Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like the dude at the squat rack that has done roids for way too long and probably the wrong way.
Yeah. Do you really want them to make the UFC? No. What the fuck's wrong with you, Mr. Carl?
I mean, think about the glory behind that, though, man. Making, a UFC fighter.
Why can't they just do jiu-jitsu professionally? That's already hard enough on the body, but at least you get to keep your brain intact.
It's just the allure of, you're doing this really cool thing in jiu-jitsu. The natural progression for many people, I don't know, most people maybe exact, but for many people is, what's the next level up? All right, we're doing jiu-jitsu, we're rolling. All right, now let's strike. And now we have both things. And now let's work on wrestling. And now let's try to fight in the UFC. I mean, I bet you if you ask Dylan, it would be something similar to that. It's just a natural progression of things. And of course, they have a dad that loves MMA. So
yeah,
they're watching that stuff with you. So
there doesn't always need to be a plan. Yeah, I've never really had a plan that didn't just go day by day, but every time I let go, things get better. And yeah, you know what I would rather have them do? I'd rather have them be into YouTube, making content, music, and the English language. That would be awesome. And I push those.
Yeah, that would be
and I
really
push
cool.
those things. So we'll see.
That's what I ended up doing myself. My dad was very much playing the three major sports, and then he basically whittled it down to football, moved us to high school that at that time back in the late 90s was really good, like nationally ranked, and played with some guys and went to the NFL. Then I got injured, and I always had a passion for music. So I, still play music.
What did you play?
And,
What do you play, Jeremy? What do you play?
Drums, saxophone was the first instrument when I was in like fourth grade. So saxophone, drums, and guitar and piano.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, my kids are super into drums and piano and the bass.
Yeah, I love watching that in their vlogs. It's like, because the jiu-jitsu and the sports and everything, it's fun, but at the level they want to do it at, that takes crazy commitment. Whereas you can casually play music and still have a good time.
Yeah,
learn a lot, meet cool people, travel. It's a blast. It really is.
Coach, Saw Squats, I played college basketball. After that was over, I have no idea who I was. It's good to give them other things they can do for their lifetime. A lot of sports have a shelf life. Yeah. The good thing with jiu-jitsu is you can do that for a long time. And I tell them too, like, hey, your tennis is just to stay in shape. Like, I don't want you guys to have any stress around tennis. I want you guys just to feel good. Every time you go to practice, you tried your hardest. That would be great, because I know that that means you're getting fit. And that's it. Tennis is crazy. Tennis is so fucking hard at a high level. It is so crazy.
It's impressive. It's like watching hockey. I can't wrap my head around how, like, with hockey, dudes are like skating, not just skating, first of all, and then doing these athletic feats. Same with tennis, just running back and forth and placing the ball where they want. I'm like, it's bonkers.
And I think Avi's, I have a lot of hope for Avi's YouTube station. I think the time he spends, that 30 minutes to an hour he spends in front of his computer editing every day, I think there's a lot of promise there.
Oh, absolutely. And look at the numbers. I mean, I think the last video I watched, by the time I got to it, it had like 3,500 views, something like that. And the comments are like, yeah, you get some weirdos in there that think they have to tell everybody what to do or whatever. But like, the comments are very interactive, and people are loving it, man. There's like old people in there talking about how, it makes their day because their kids are growing up. And I mean, that's cool stuff.
Yeah, the station's gonna. I think it'll, by the end of July, he'll go over 1 million views on the channel. The comments are crazy. The comments are really crazy. Part of me was struggling with them at first, but then I was like, no, these people actually think they know my kids and that they're kind of like part of the family, and that's why they feel comfortable making the comments. So I've been kind of like justifying, but the comments are crazy. Someone wrote in there.
Yeah.
Someone wrote I've deleted a couple comments. This one I deleted. Someone wrote in there, these kids are really cool. What a shame that they're so short. And I'm thinking to myself,
Jesus.
yeah, I'm thinking to
Christ.
myself, like, hey, dude, what if my kid reads that? Why not just give them time to like find out on their own? Like what? Yeah, there've been some interesting ones.
I haven't seen any like perverted ones yet, so that's pretty cool. Unless you catch them quick, but
There were
the
one
thing
there
you
were
gotta
one or
worry
two.
about with kids.
Yeah, there's some I would never use like the kissing emoji or the heart emoji on a kid's video personally. Like there's some stuff that like, but once again, I'm just like what am I gonna do? It's fucking YouTube. Like if it's like the same advice that I gave Down Pepper. Like, hey, if I can't handle that, like wait till I see what's coming down the pipe. Like this is nothing.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, amen to that. Yeah.
So
100%.
Adam, I'll be caught up in 9 minutes. Anyway, I have no plan. I'm just going day by day. I have no plan. All right, thanks, Jeremy.
I'm down with that. All right, love you guys. Peace.
Bye. I think I have a show coming up with Jeremy and Darren and Dylan. That's a great show. I have so much fun with them. I'm much freer on their show than I am on my own show. I can't believe how much I like it. Okay. Our very own, I think we can take ownership of him. Fluffy Duck was reposted by Tim Dillon. That's awesome. Josh is so fucking cool. This is such a sweet gentleman. This guy is so cool. I love this guy. Every time I see him, I get a little warmth in my heart. The Fluffy Duck. He's doing this whole Dylan Thomas.
No, I will not pray for your husband and his big tits.
He's oh my goodness. He's really he always kind of pushed the envelope, but lately he's really just he's going full steam ahead. How many followers does he have? Holy shit, 208,000. Holy shit. Wow. He's crushing.
This post is going live before the game even starts. I don't give a flying rat's vagina if Shohei Ohtani hits 8 homers tonight and strikes out 39. I don't give a shit. The guy is not and will never be greater than Barry Bonds. Not even fucking close. You guys could take your steroid allegations and shove it right up your big fat pimply pee. Ow, you bitch. This post is going live.
God, he's good.
NFL, don't give the Chiefs some soft-ass schedule because you're trying to protect them from not having Patrick Mahomes to start the season. I want them at Bills, at Rams, at Denver, at NFL. Don't give the Chiefs some soft-ass schedule.
How does he come up with this shit? How does he come up with this? Hey, he's put in the work, by the way. Like, this did not happen overnight. Is this real? Aquaman does suck. Who is that? You, Josh? That show is so stupid. That movie's so stupid. Yeah, he's really put in the work.
you see Dave Castro? There's like these ruck contests. He's all about it. He's like all into like rucking. Like he's hardcore with the ruck community. I don't know.
That's the Navy SEAL in him, I guess.
I know. He's a sneaky badass, I think. He's a sneaky badass.
I wouldn't want to fuck with him. That's for sure.
He's kind of intimidating a little bit. He comes off kind of awkward though, like awkward intimidating. Where it's just like, are you happy right now? Are you angry? Or do you just not really know what's going on? Seems like he's like the same. He could be ready to snap or he's ready to laugh as hard as he's ever experienced funniness before. Yeah. I don't know. It's just like he's kind of right in there all the time.
I lived in fear of Dave Castro for my CrossFit time.
Dude, you should have Dave on your show, Josh. I mean, this dude has put in the work. Look, there's Souza. Souza was on his show. That's crazy. If I knew that, I forgot that. Jason Khalipa. Yeah, Josh is good. He's so good. I'm so happy for him. Someone sent me that this morning. I was like, holy shit, that's awesome. You got a repost from Dylan Thomas, Dylan Vowell. He got a repost from a famous Dylan.
Why is my bank gay?
I wonder what his wife thinks. He had a great interview with Lazar Jukic. What a horrible take from that idiot about Bonds. He's so good. Josh is so good. My assistant coach in college actually introduced all of us to CrossFit. I majored in exercise science, so I always loved training, but now I'm all in on CrossFit. It is exercise science. All right. Yeah, I saw that. That's a great video. That one's great too. Jeez, I'll pull that up. Hold on. Let me Dense. I think it's on Dense Updates. This is a great clip. Jenny's been crushing the Dave Castro clips. This one is so funny. This almost seems like gay porn to me.
Hey, I really want to be a part of this demo team.
I know, but I also just found out your girlfriend's competing.
Hey, you had Cindy Wells on there, and her sister was competing. Yeah. No, I totally understand. You don't trust me. What if they broke up?
Yeah, break up with her before the games, and you're on.
Hey, I really want to be a part.
Oh, Ibarra needs to make a post clipping that, and then show a video of him breaking up with Kerstetter. My goodness. Hey, Colton, I don't like the way how close Ibarra is sitting next to you, by the way. I do not like that. What the fuck's he doing over your shoulder like that? You guys look like you just had sex. Consensual sex. I love seeing Dave happy like that, in a good mood like that, too. This was a great clip from yesterday's Dave Castro weekend review. If you didn't see Hobart and I, but someone called me yesterday who's never ever complimented me in my life and said, "Holy shit, you're funny." I said, "Oh, why do you say that?" They're like, "I watched the Dave Castro weekend review." They said, "Hey, this is the feedback they gave me." They said, "Hey, you really have to start the show sooner." I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You and Hobart talking for 20 minutes is just fucking lame. Just start the show." I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? They're like, "No, do that for like 5 minutes, not 20 minutes. And he goes, "Even someone in the comments was fucking complaining." That was fucking Jeremy. When I have Hobart on, I don't even want to do the weekend review. I just want to chop it up with Hobart. But then they said, "Dude, you're funny as shit." I was like, "Well, thank you." Okay, here we go.
Ask him if we're actually going to have to jump feet first in the pool. That'd be ridiculous. There's no way.
What's fucking wild to me is that nobody's pieced together. Mike.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Sevon, get Avi a mini keyboard so he can make his own beats. The next thing we're gonna do, we've switched cameras for his YouTube channel. I've been filming, and he's been filming. We've both been filming his YouTube channel with the camera I'm going to use at the games this year for the behind the scenes. I'm just getting my practice reps in. And then I want to do it, and it's going to make a whole huge difference to the channel. It's going to look so different. But then, yeah, now we need to start doing music. I've always thought you were funny, Sevon. Okay, good. I just need to hear it once every 3 years. Okay. What's today? Wednesday? Tuesday. Oh, I have to take the trash out today. My wife will text me today. That'll be some high level communication between my wife and I. She'll tell me when I'm done with the show, I'll walk in there in the house. The boys will go, Heidi, and they'll run over and hug me. And my wife will be like, there's eggs for you on the stove. And I'll be like, thanks, babe. And I'll look up at the stove and I'll see that they're undercooked, which is exactly how I like them. And I'll get excited. And then she'll be like, are you sure it's okay? I can take him to gymnastics. And I'll be like, no, it's fine. I can take him to gymnastics. And then she'll say, oh, today's trash day. And I'll be like, okay, thank you. And then I'll drive them to gymnastics. I'll probably squeeze her butt too. I'll walk by and squeeze her butt. She'll be at the stove or something. And then she'll look, when I squeeze her butt, she'll look over her head and I'll kiss her. And then, and my boys will giggle. And then I will try to squeeze in a game of Clash Royale. And then I'll tell the boys to get in the car and I'll ask, hey, do we have to pick up the Japanese girls? And my wife will be like, yeah. So I'll go pick, then I'll tell the boys to get in the car and I'll start panicking because we're late. And then on the way home from gymnastics at 12 o'clock, when I'm taking them directly to tennis, my wife will text me, don't forget today's trash day. And I'll read it and then I'll go back to it and say mark is unread. And I'll come home. And 1 out of every 10 times when I get home, she's already taken out the trash. And I can't tell you how much that fucking pisses me off. There's nothing rational about it. I'm not defending it. I'm not defending it. Olivia, I'm not defending it. I'm just telling you. I'm not perfect. I get so fucking like, ooh, I start getting fucking, my blood starts boiling. Are you going on Glinton's today? If you're talking to me, I don't know. I don't think so. If they invited me, I forgot. I tried to go on. That's the one podcast. If they invite me on, I try to go on. All right. I like Colleen and Garrett a lot. All right. I will see you whenever. I need to beg Taylor to do a show with me. All right. Oh, tomorrow. Oh boy. Oh, I'm glad I told you guys this. Oh, shit. Tomorrow is crazy. Tomorrow I have Greg Glassman on. Then I have Hannah Black at 4 p.m., who I've never met. I'm very excited to meet. Then possibly at 6 p.m., I have Moritz Fiebig. So tomorrow could be 4 podcasts. Oy vey. I'm going to try to put Moritz in where Greg is and skip Greg this week. So I don't have to do 4 podcasts. Then Thursday I have Liz Collins. I need to show you guys this before I go really quick. Sorry. Hang tight with me here. Liz Collins. Liz has a new documentary out. What is the name of it? Okay, here it is. Here we go. You need to watch this before she comes on. Here we go.
Walz. Tim Walz. Governor Tim Walz.
Tim Walz.
Tim Walz. Tim Walz.
Governor Tim Walz of the great state of Minnesota.
I lived in China. I've been there about 30 times.
Tim was snapping up dozens of copies of Mao's Little Red Book
It's not just a political treatise, it's the daily devotional of the Chinese Communist Party. The inscription on the inside is Mao's words bring us joy.
She's bringing us a politics of joy. They're trying to steal the joy from this country, bringing back the joy.
You said earlier that ICE agents were a modern-day Gestapo. Would you like to recant that statement?
When I said President Trump was using them as his modern-day Gestapo, Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the streets. Many of us grew up reading that story of Anne Frank. Somebody's going to write that children's story about Minnesota.
For communism to work, you have to erase the country's identity and history, and that's what Mao did. Tim Walz is doing it here.
Governor Tim Walz signed an executive order providing legal protection to those who come to Minnesota for gender-affirming health care.
Our children tell us who they are.
You lived through every parent's worst nightmare.
Some of the loudest voices are advocating for blame and hatred and even violence toward those who don't agree.
You could shit out of him now. Don't ever shy away from our progressive values. One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness.
A massive fraud scandal is gaining national attention. Stealing more than $1 billion. $1 billion.
More than $1 billion. I can't speak to it, but are you going to take responsibility for this? Yeah, I take responsibility for COVID. I take responsibility for George Floyd. I take responsibility for balancing the budgets.
Today, Governor Tim Walz announced the largest round of restrictions since he shut down the state last spring.
Once you lose control COVID-19 control.
They plan on going after violators.
I'm not the kind of person who's willing to just bend over in the face of petty tyranny.
You are sentenced to 57 months in prison with credit for 340 days already served.
If you could talk face to face with Governor Walz, what would you say to him?
I'm not going to sit by and allow this state to descend into communism. If it costs us my life, like it's cost me 3 years, then so be it.
If more people would stand up when confronted with these kind of dictatorial and tyrannical policies, we'd all be better off in the long run.
Minnesota Mao, what a awesome trailer. This is the guy, Tim Walz, that pardoned last week a man who raped a girl for more than 2 years of her life, from when she was 10 years old to 12 years old. The guy did no time. He was convicted, but did no time for the rape. And then when ICE came to get him, Tim Walz pardoned those charges against him so that ICE wouldn't have precedent to get him. This just happened last week. Well, Liz Collins on. Amazing human. Fucking national treasure. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.